All right, ladies and dragons, this is the week we get caught up. I'm going to do week 10 and 11 and 12. Um, Man, I tell you what, this has been back to square one, essentially. It's so. I have to be careful with my wording here because I know words are power, but where am I at here? So, week 10 would have been June 12th to 18th. 2023 because I know these videos will last forever in posterity. And Audrey, I love you. So that's essentially a good segue into why I am here at all. I might have got a little caught up with the whole ego game of, why am I doing this? I fucking wore some poopy pants the past couple weeks, maybe even the past couple months. Honestly, maybe it's not that I got off track. You know what? No, I'm not even going to fucking beat around the bush. I had a couple cigarettes here and there. Total for the past 2 or 3 months or so. Probably even still less than a full pack. But I would bum smokes. I would. There's probably at least two occasions where I actually bought a pack. Smoked less than half. I felt like shit, threw them away or gave them away, whatever. But yeah, it would keep coming back a little bit, and just even. And I know like cigarettes are bad. But that's the thing. That's the thing where I can justify, like at least it's not weed. At least I'm not going down that dark hole. Cigarettes for me is easy to demonize, and I can just give it up like that. But it's not that simple. As of Okay, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. So it's not that simple because once you give into the craving, once you make that mental switch into, oh, I can have a couple. Well, they're having a cigarette. Maybe I'll just have one with them and I'll talk to them. That's me referring to my old job. I guess I haven't even updated that either. So I'm starting a new job, back to a general contractor world. A lot less stress, a lot more methodology, a lot more. That's not the word I'm looking for. A lot more methodical in the work process, the workflow, workload. So I won't be at home worrying if the fucking work crew doesn't want to work because it's too hot or too rainy or too this or that. Anyways, that job, I left the job, high stress, and it got to me. It honestly got to me with the anxiety of starting a new task, a new role as a project manager. Never done that before. Yada 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 yada. Meeting all these people. I might have regressed a little bit in my mental state. So now we're starting a new job. I'm excited about. You might not be able to tell it, but I'm trying to express excitement rather than anxiety these days. Um, So yeah, I'm trying to get back on track here. I've seen how those little mental lapses, and they weren't mental lapses. Like I made the decision to bum those smokes and to really, and it really, the darkness. It's so disgusting. It disgusts me that I'm able to do that. Um, so yeah, I haven't smoked any weed. So that's a victory that I will hang my hat on. But the cigarettes do creep in, and as early as today, I was wrestling with the triggers, and I let the anxiety kind of take control a bit, and it manifests when I'm by myself. When I'm by myself, I can create some pretty gnarly narratives, and that's the alarm that I used to numb away. I used to smoke it away. I used to hide from it. I used to. I no, I haven't even used to. See, I still identify as this person that likes to hide, and I do not like to hide anymore, obviously. So here's this has been the battle. See, I fight myself. It's like I'm fucking going a little crazy, but this is addiction. I'm assured by some pretty knowledgeable people that I am normal. This is normal. Climbing 5 mountains at once, perfectly normal. What's maybe not so normal is to within the past 6 or 7 months to change jobs, train for 200 miles, train for this, run ultras, fucking uh, quit fucking addictions, like you name it, I've pretty much done it. And like to holy fuck, yeah, no, I'm pretty badass as far as that goes. To really just challenge my self perception, honestly, like from the ground roots, my childhood up, I have really fucking impressed myself with the amount of willingness I've shown to really just, wow, okay, okay, see, this is good. This is good vibes. This is me being happy about my progress. my, okay. So, yeah, new job. Smoking no weed past 6 or 7 months since I made those videos. Cigarettes kind of crept in a little bit, but it was that darkness. I can identify the thinking patterns. So now the goal for that is to establish an action plan that I will practice when I don't feel so anxious, when I don't feel so staticky in the brain, and I don't want to um, I don't feel that craving to hide. It's not necessarily my craving to smoke. It's a craving to fucking withdraw and to just fucking have this pity party, wear my poopy pants, and just be like, oh, woe was me. Oh, it was too much to do anyway. And it's a real ego battle. It's like an ego. Um, it's not an ego battle. I shouldn't say that. See, words of power. It's it's a it's rewiring my ego to be a friend of mine rather than to be so vigilant and to be like, oh no, this is too scary. I don't want to do that, or I can't do that. It's too much. I like, no, fuck that, man. Like Jesus Christ, even just saying that is so stupid. But again, like I judge myself. I'm so hard on myself. I expect the world of myself. I just You see what I mean? Um, and then, again, this goes back as to the inner child, where as a child, I was critically analyzed by my brothers. Like if I chewed a little too loud, they would point it out. They pointed out my ears stick out a little bit, like every day. All these little things made me very self conscious, very almost perfectionist, I guess. In OCD, definitely OCD, where my thoughts just won't shut the fuck up. Sometimes I'm getting better at it, but yeah, no, this has been a fucking battle, and this is the point of doing these videos. My last video, I wasn't very happy with it because I could see how down I was. I could see that was the dark. That was probably the bit of the darkness that was coming through the screen, and you could probably hear it in my voice. Although I don't think I was feeling very well, so I'll get into that here. So week 10. All right, let's get into a little bit of summaries. I'll do now that I know I can put images up here, so I won't fucking stress about reading these numbers so much. So week 10. This is how I find myself in the video timeline. Week 10, 9 minutes. Okay, well, I don't know why I said 9 minutes because I'm just going to see myself doing that. So week 10, June 12th to 18th. My goal was 80 kilometers over 9 hours and 2,240 meters of elevation. I finished with a total of 84-ish kilometers, 11 and a half hours, and 2,300 meters of elevation. So I nailed my goal, no problem. Lots of hill training with my girlfriend, lots of distance, lots of running when you don't want to run. You know, that's normal shit, normal stuff. Get your shoes on, get out the door. If you can share the experience with people, better. If you can share this experience with somebody you love, even better, because you're going to have these stories for the rest of your life. And these videos will be out there for the rest of YouTube's life. So, week 10 was bang on, June 12th and 18th. training as planned. And this, I think that was the week after Keji, I believe. So I did like 130 kilometers the week before, and this was just like a recovery week, even though it was like 2,300 meters of elevation still. Anyways, so next week was week 11, June 19th to 25th. The goal was 100 kilometers over 12 hours and 3,000 meters of elevation. And for that week, we nailed our goals again. A little over our time on feet, but that's a good metric to be over on, honestly. Time on feet is like I don't intend on running the whole 200 miles in divide, so the more time I can get on my feet, walking, running, the better I'll be served for those the hiking moments where I'll be hiking up or down or over adverse terrain, and just be able to jog the runnable parts and hike out the non-runnable parts, I guess. So goal was 100 kilometers. We finished with 110. Elevation was 3,000 was the goal. We finished with about 3,100, and time was 12 hours as a goal, and we finished with almost 17. So again, we nailed the goals. Everything was great. Hill training, we're getting out there. We're sorting it all in. We're balancing priorities, balancing working full time, running at lunchtime if we have to get it in, and time with my daughter is always important. That's a priority. And I'll probably get into a little bit more priority balancing here as we go on. But a lot of this is coming down to a lot of time alone. I feel like there's a lot of healing still to be done, especially sitting with my own thoughts and not relying on my girlfriend, especially. She's so supportive, so loving, so compassionate. But we're starting to realize that maybe time apart isn't a bad thing at all, even though my anxious attachment and my it's starting to come up a little bit. My anxious attachment and fear of separation, all that kind of boils up to the surface. And it's kind of like fearing those anxious moments where I need to be by myself and I don't know what to do, and boom, smoking gets triggered, and I'm like, ah. So it's just a matter of finding the cup filling, grounding habits that that are able to express love to myself, so that I am better able to express it outwardly as a component of my uh, as a component of my personality, to make it my natural vibration, so far I would say my natural state of vibration would be anxious, worried, um, inclined to withdraw a little bit. And there'd be some people out there probably like, no, no fucking way you withdraw, because um, the whole like last year and this year was about expressing myself, about getting out there and proclaiming to the universe that I'm here despite all my challenges. And you know what? Maybe I should get back into that a little bit, a little more healthy, a little more guided, socially for sure, a little more confidently. Like I believe I said in my last video, I was using social media almost as a way to chase validation towards the end. At first, it started out as like a very homegrown type of, like I just wanted, no, maybe it was always kind of like egotistical driven. Mm, no, I don't think that's fair to say at all. I wanted to motivate myself and to show people that knew me before as a, again, words are power, but I'm just telling it like it is. I was lazy. I was ignorant, honestly. I was ignorant of my own potential. I was ignorant of what I was capable of. So when I signed up for 100 miles after my dad died and it was postponed for a couple of years, then I was pushing. I started to discover myself and my spirit and the dragons that live deep within. And did I touch on that last time? There was a dragon of what did I call him last time? The dragon of light and darkness, I guess. But neither one are very good or very bad. Like there's no judgment. But I've observed that there's a dragon of purification, feeds off of love and understanding and compassion, and it breathes the fire of purification. Where in that it's an expression of love. It's an expression of forgiveness and um, basically the white side of yin and yang. So be more inclined to be judged as the good side, I guess. But again, there's the dragon on the other side. There's a dragon of what was it? Oh, my girlfriend probably knows it. Shit. Dragon of transformation, purification, transformation. Yeah, that sounds right. So transformation used to be destruction, but that had like a negative connotation to it. So the dragon of transformation will feed on negative emotions like jealousy and envy and anger, and transform that into maybe something that isn't outwardly healthy, maybe a little bit dark. Um, I don't know if I explained that properly at all, but fuck was I going with that now? Oh my god, my head has been like a whirlwind the past couple weeks. This is training for 100 miles seemed so much easier because it was me proving to myself that I could do it, me believing in myself that I could do it. But once I completed that 100, once I was in that 100-mile arena, I saw I saw myself. I saw the disparity between where I was and like the shining being that was coming to the surface. Even through the nighttime, I felt it. I felt so not defeated. I'd never felt defeated, but I felt so battered. I felt under siege. I felt like I was not me in in probably the most refreshing way. Um, and I didn't do myself a very good service by smoking weed during this event, and I wore that guilt after the event was over. It was very much imposter syndrome. Uh, all the congratulations and all that stuff. I took it personally, and that's another thing is that I cannot take the positive feedback or the negative feedback because I get some negative feedback on my website. For fuck's sakes, I don't know who the hell thinks they're. I don't know who would take the time to post some negative shit on there, but there was one. Nope, there's two or three people out there in this world that felt the need to express their negativity to me. It's not true. And you know what? If you got nothing nice to say, then shut the fuck up. Leave me out of your fucking world. I don't belong in your world. I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, there's some. Anyways, yeah, so Capes 100 introduced me to my higher self. And ever since then, it's been about peeling these layers back and to really reveal that being that I saw. I witnessed it. I saw what I was supposed to be, and I saw where I was, and there was like fucking 10,000 mountains in between me and the ideal self. And ever since then, I've been taking steps, step after step after step, to reach this fucking ideal form, my ultimate form, I guess. And it's not impossible. It's not impossible at all. I make it sound like it's some unachievable goal, but it's a matter of discipline and self-love. Self-love, that's the fuck. Like, discipline can come easy. I'm a stubborn motherfucker. I can be disciplined to do anything, But the ultimate discipline is to, oh, I heard a quote there a couple fucking hours ago. The ultimate discipline is to not act upon impulse, but to resist. The ultimate discipline is to resist impulse and to choose your reaction. Um, so discipline doesn't become a form of action, it becomes a form of a form of informed reaction of no of choosing your reaction. So the ultimate discipline is forming your own choice of how to react to any situation, any feeling that arises, any alarm that arises from your body, from your subconscious impulse, I believe I mentioned in my last video, if I would get this alarm of really insecure, really nasty insecurity, if I notice my girlfriend liked somebody's post or something, and there's nothing wrong with but this is where my subconscious is that I would take that, I would feel the what is it? I'll feel the alarm in my chest, and it would be threat. It would be like fight or flight. I'd be like, oh, I feel threatened, and then my mind would take over, want to react to the thoughts of being betrayed or whatever social media bullshit happens. What a fucking journey this has been. Honest to God. I honestly thought it would be like quit weed, heal some emotional trauma, and be right as rain. But I think what I'm appreciating now is like, this is my life. Honestly, this is my life. Like, if I don't fix it this year, or if I don't continue on with this journey, then I don't know if I could die a happy man. Honestly, like, that's why I started. That's why I wanted to quit weed, is to maximize my potential. Not my potential, but maximize the realization of my potential, which is so far limitless. And to create this legacy for my daughter to follow, and for me to reflect upon. Like, next year, I'll look back at these, and hopefully I'll be able to hopefully I will be so unfamiliar with feeling this way, of not being overwhelmed, but being so embattled, so critical. You know what? It's so crazy. Like, I spent many of my formative years being criticized and judged, that now it's almost like I take on that role for myself. Huh. Wow. So, I don't even think I did week 12 yet, but week 12 was a bit of a shit show. No, week 11. We ended week 11 with two long runs that felt like absolute hell. Turns out I have had the rash that I've had, that you probably heard me speak about forever now. It was due to strep throat. I was still testing positive for strep throat, and I felt so sick on that weekend of June 24th to 25th. We did a 30K run and a 20K run or something, but I felt like absolute shit. For that and the following week, in week 12, like my numbers were shit. And it was a mental game too. So my goal was 13 hours, finished with 7.7. Distance goal was 110, I finished with 45. And goal for elevation wasn't bad. Elevation goal was 3,500, and I finished with 2,000. So it took a lot of mental energy, and this was last week. So it took a lot of mental struggle to really rationalize, like slow down, let your body recover. Training can take a backseat for a little bit, but then like the weight of 200 miles would come in, and um, like I sat at a walk-in clinic for about 6 hours. The dermatologist recommended I get screened for Lyme disease because I had a tick bite and the symptoms I had were conducive to Lyme disease. But it turns out, sent for blood work. It was strep throat was in my blood. I don't know if that's regular or whatever, but like they think I've had strep throat for about 6 or 7 months now, and it was my rash was a reaction to that, and I feel like I'm coming around. It's just my mental game. I've ever since I quit like smoking weed 6 months ago, whatever. I don't think I've been 100% like physically. Um, like psychologically, obviously there's a bit of recovery, but like even like to have strep in your system for that long, I don't know even know if that's possible. But like my rash certainly is going away now, and that's been since fucking Christmas, fucking July now, so it's been about 7 months. Man, what a ride! Like what a fucking ride! Did I finish this week summary anyway? Yeah, so we're on week 13 now. I think there's 10 more weeks until Divide. So now my goal is to express self love, and to really, fuck, I'm going to get emotional here again, but to really just challenge this separation anxiety where I'm perfectly allowed to be not separate from my girlfriend, but to do my own thing, to be my own person, to practice my personal care without her being around to lean on or to rely on. Um, and bless her heart, she's very supportive. She's very loving and very, very, very supportive of this whole ordeal, like addictions and everything, fucking everything. Even my separation anxiety and everything. Like I'm perfectly open and honest, but it's tough. It's like I'm challenging. I'm 38 years old, so I'm challenging about 37 years of conditioning, I guess, which is pretty silly to think about, but I mean, it's not far off from the truth. So, self love is the goal now. Um, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that entails. I know, like, it's easy to talk about like meditation and like exercise. I have started strength training and mobility training because we're getting a little down to the wire. But like exercise, I do nothing but exercise. And priorities, yeah, my daughter, work, and like self love. Like I know I need to be comfortable with the knowing that the love my girlfriend has for me is permanent. Like it's obviously permanent, and I don't know why my anxiety tries to convince me otherwise. It's like always that alarm, always that impending doom where, like, if I'm not there, then oh my god, she's gonna find somebody else or, like, just get annoyed with me or. Um, and the funny thing is, my daughter has exhibited some of the same traits or the same tendencies, I guess. And, like, I catch myself with the same worry that she expresses, and she's 9. So I give advice to her that I myself I'm aware of it, but I'm not aware of my expression of those traits. So it's a matter of really just introspection, showing myself love, not being critical of myself, allowing the universe to flow, and to know that everything is going to be okay. I haven't seen my girlfriend yet today, um, and I've been really sitting with this separation. Not separation. It's not separation anxiety. It's more or less fear of anxiety, fear of this anxious feeling I get if I'm by myself and my thoughts take over and I can't control them and it's like static. Um, but no smokes today. I would say I was triggered, whatever. But it's that thought. It's the thought process that happens that I'm aware of. I know the darkness that takes over if I do smoke. So that's basically what's keeping me on the wagon today. That and to really remind myself of this journey. I've been reading some notes that I've made over the years. There's one right here. I am not as lost as my ego has me believing. I am exactly where I need to be to do the things that need doing. It will not always feel like this. I will feel better. I will keep going. Today is a beautiful day of opportunity. I'm exactly where I need to be. I open myself to the universe and trust in the unfolding of my life. Go boldly with love in your heart and the mind won't matter. Like I don't know when I wrote that. I must have wrote that like fucking 6 months ago. But I have these little notes everywhere and they're like a time capsule for myself because I do inspire myself. Like this has been a journey that's worth sharing, I think. So um yeah, and I tend to get a little emotional. I get a little not sad, but I do get emotional if I'm faced with this stuff. So I should be happy. I should be joyful. I should be, I shouldn't say should so much, but I know I need to be more expressive of positivity rather than sadness because I see how far I've come and I see how far I'm going. I see where this is going to lead me, and the universe will take care of me um, no matter which way I go. So, anyways, this video is getting very long. Peace, love, and clarity. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Just keep fucking going. I'll see you hopefully sooner for the next week, which is week 13. Lucky number 13. Nice, easy week this week, easing back into it. Flowing like water. Just letting sleeping geese lie. All right, dragons. Peace out.